Welcome to the first part of Elementary Classroom in a Slum by Stephen Spender. In this touching poem, the poet Stephen Spender highlights the social injustice and class inequalities that spoil the future of slum children. The poem in 4 stanzas discusses the plight of poor children living in slums, and the poet wants to release them from the dirty clutches of poverty and let them fly to the world of letters. He wishes them to enjoy a better world with full access to their ambition and the beautiful living atmosphere outside. Let's move on to the first stanza. Far, far from gusty ways these children's faces, like rootless weeds, the head torn round their pallor, the tall girl with a weighed down head, the paper-saving boy with rat's eyes, the stunted unlucky heir of twisted bones, residing a father's small disease, his lesson from his desk. Back of the dim class, one unnoted, sweet and young, his eyes live in a dream, a scurrilous game, in 3 room other than this. In this first stanza, the poet describes the appearance of slum children in this elementary school. Come to the first line. Far, far from gusty ways. Gusty ways means strong winds. Gusty also means synergetic. Gusty means energetic. It represents the fast developing world outside the slum. These children know nothing but the slum. The slum kids are not at all energetic as the kids in the city. The kids who live in a better and healthy conditions are satisfied with their primary needs, so they are always pleasant and energetic. They get proper food, shelter, and enjoy comfortable life. But these kids in slum are not happy and energetic. So far, far from gusty ways, these children's faces. They are away from all the happiness that's enjoyed by the city kids. Like rootless weeds. How are they? Like rootless weeds. The air torn round their pallor. These children are compared to rootless weeds. What's weed? Weeds are unwanted, unnecessary plants. So these children are like unnecessary plants. Nobody wants them. Nobody needs them. Nobody cares them. No one is there to think about them. They're totally neglected by others. That's what the meaning of rootless weeds. The hair torn round their pallor. Pallor means dull face. It's dull. Okay. Their hair is not neatly combed. Hair torn round their pallor. It's scattered around their dull face. They are not at all neat and tidy in their appearance, as no one is responsible for them. Yes. Then moving on to the next line. The tall girl with a weighed down head. The paper-seeming boy with rat's eyes. The tall girl. Then the poet describes the children who are sitting inside the classroom. There's a tall girl sitting there, weighing down her head. Weighing down means bending down. Why is she sitting so? She may be very tired, or she is ashamed of her poverty. She is ill and exhausted. She is burdened by poverty. That's why she is sitting so. There we can see another boy, a paper-seeming boy with rat's eyes. A paper-seeming boy. Paper-seeming means thin as a paper. Thin as a paper. a skinny boy who is so weak and thin. So he is compared to a sheet of white paper. So this paper-seeming boy is compared to a sheet of paper. Paper-seeming boy with rat's eyes. Rat's eyes means very greedy, always searching for food or something. Okay, we know that rats are always searching for food. Here, this pale and weak boy is malnourished. He is suffering from malnutrition. Then another one. The stunted, unlucky heir of twisted bonds, residing a father's knowledge disease, his lesson from his death. There is one more child who is stunted. Stunted means he is not fully grown due to malnutrition. What's the meaning of stunted? He is not fully grown due to malnutrition. He is not fully grown due to malnutrition. The stunted, unlucky heir means successor who inherited something from their parents. Here, this boy has inherited from his father nothing but disease. This boy is described as an unlucky heir because he inherited a disease from his father, due to which he has twisted bones and deformed body. He is residing father's null disease. Residing here means showing something. We can see that he is suffering from that. In the class, he is supposed to reside and repeat the lesson that he is learning. But he is suffering. As he is suffering from the null disease, he can't concentrate in his studies. Null means rough and tough or fatal. Okay, rough and tough. That's what nulled. So he can't concentrate properly in his studies. As he is physically ill and disturbed, he can't do his learning well. It's sad to see that instead of receiving something good from his ancestors, unluckily he received his null disease. Now we have seen different children with different problems sitting inside the classroom. Who are they? The first one, a tall girl weighing down her head. A second one, the paper-seeming boy with rat's eyes. Third one, a stunted, unlucky heir of twisted bones. He is residing his father's null disease. Also his lesson from his desk. Okay, at the same time, he is trying to learn and recite his lesson from his desk, even though he is suffering from fatal illness. Now we have seen 3 children sitting inside the classroom. There is one more boy sitting there, totally unnoted. Come to the next line. At the back of the dim class, one unnoted, sweet and young. His eyes live in a dream, a squirrel's game in 3 rooms other than this. At the back of the dim class, one unnoted, sweet and young. At the back of the dim class means the class is not well painted. We know that it's an elementary classroom in a slum. It's not at all attractive, and proper light is not there. There sits a boy unnoted. Unnoted means he's not easily noticed by the poet as he's sitting in the dark corner of the room. He's ignorant of everything. He's actually innocent. He's sweet and young, the poet says. The poet could see his eyes, how they are bright and full of dream. His eyes live in a dream, a squirrel's game. Where is his mind? Even though he's sitting in the classroom, he's not paying attention to the class. He is interestingly watching a squirrel's game in the tree room outside the class. Other than this means, other than the lesson that's taken in the class, he is enjoying the squirrel's funny game in tree outside. He is looking at that and sitting. Hope you have understood the first stanza clearly. Now let's see the literary devices used in the first stanza. The first one is simile. You know what simile is. Simile used to compare. Here, the children are compared with ruthless weeds, like rootless wheat. So, there it's used simile. Another one is metaphor. Metaphor in paper seeming boy. Okay, here a paper seeming boy. That boy is compared with paper. Here is used metaphor. Then there we can see alliteration. In the first line, we can see alliteration. F. Same sound is repeated in the first line itself. Far, far from gusty ways. So when this first sound is repeated, it is alliteration. So these are the literary devices used here. Hope you have understood this first stanza. Thank you.